Morning, guys. It's Miss True Love here. Just going to wrap up a series of lessons today on conventions. I haven't necessarily called it that in our everyday lessons, but it's a lot of the content we've covered in the last week or so. So we're just going to hop right into it and get started with our lesson. So what are conventions? That's your spelling, your grammar, your punctuation, your capitalization, which is what we covered punctuation and capitalization and all those type things in the last couple of weeks. We've been talking about the grammar and how to write the words. We talked about our antonyms, synonyms, homonyms, all those type of things, different rules and everything like that in the last couple weeks. So we are just wrapping it up. So what's the big point? It is to clarify the meaning and message and polish the piece of writing. So if you don't have good writing conventions, your writing won't be clear and oftentimes will be misunderstood, and it's just not good writing. I'm going to give you some examples. So let's look at this these two sentences over here. We have, "Let's kick, John," said the coach, with the comma after kick, which a comma, you need to pause. But then it says in the next one, "Let's kick John," said the coach. Both of them are the same words, but with that comma placement, we see that in that sentence, we're telling John to kick probably a ball. But the second sentence suggests that we kick John. So it makes a big difference whether or not where we place our comma, because if not, John would be getting kicked at this point. So let's look at this one. Another example. It says, "The butler stood at the door and called the guests names." And then we have, "The butler stood at the door and called the guests names." One suggests he called the names of the people as they came into the house. The other suggests he was calling them names, like picking on them. So it makes a difference, in the sentence where they place that apostrophe. So you wouldn't want to have the butler um, calling the guests names. You wanted him to call the guest's name, to introduce them, to announce their arrival, but we don't want to have them picking on them and calling them names. And how do you check for them? I mean, read over here. Um, it's one of these. This is one of those sentences that they say, not everybody can read these things. It says, "Many people don't run spell check. Big mistake. Few things make you look stupider than spelling errors." Few things make you look stupider than spelling errors, and as you can tell, everything's misspelled. So having spelling and punctuation errors just don't make you look very smart. It makes you look like you're not taking time with your writing. You're not thinking much what you're writing. So take that time if you're writing a paper to run the spell check. Look for those for your grammar usage. Just make sure that it's done correctly. Some of the most common mistakes are using words like "I" when you're supposed to be using "me," the word affect versus effect, "your" and "your," "there" and "there" and "there." We're talking about all those. We're talking about really those homonyms that we talked about, did a lesson on last week. And then words like "good" versus "well" and "of" versus "have." These are just things that we have gone over in the past several weeks. And like I said, we didn't use the word conventions when we went over them, but um, you're seeing now how this is what we've already covered in class. So that's just wrapping it up, putting a nice little bow on it and calling it done. But I'm going to be posting some assignments on IXL. You'll go to IXL.com. Your username is your first name followed by the number 1. So mine would be Kathy1 at Job Corps. And then your password would be Joyful1. Some of you guys, you might be contacted about your password. If there's a student that has the same name as you, yours might be the number, instead of the number 1, it might be the number 2. So if for some reason you're not able to get in, or you see that you're on an account that someone that's already worked in and it's not yours, you might just check and see if we have another one. I know we have several Stephanies. I think we have several Josephs, things of that nature. So, yeah, just if you have any questions, if you have questions, I've listed here how you can reach me. You can reach me at truelove.catherine@jobcorps.org. Also at reading1@gjcc at gmail.com. And you can reach me on the Google Classroom. Also on the Gadsden Bulldogs Facebook page. Or you can just ask someone such as your counselor or somebody else that you might be in contact with, that is at the Job Corps. And so feel free to message me as needed. This was a short and sweet lesson, but we have to have those times of review and to go over the material. And so we make sure we just have it and we can nail it and mark it off and say that it's done, and so that we can move on to other material. So anyhow, I'm hoping you're having a good day. Hope that you're being blessed. I hope to see you soon. Sayonara. Adios. Ta-ta. Bye-bye.